EX has got the facts for you. EX the storyteller, bringing the spark. No one does it better.
Literally have a green light to always snitch on Black Americans wherever, whenever. Like they don't have a code of conduct when it comes to telling on Black Americans. That goes for that, and that goes for any other culture. When I tell you these folks will tell on you, it's okay for you to tell on them, right? I won't tell on my kinfolk, and guess what? It's a way of telling. If you know that your kinfolk got a warrant, or he trapping whatever, tell him to get out of here. Be like, yo, bro, like, yo, you gotta dip, because make sure they safe first, and then you boom. Get these other dudes to hell. Get them out your neighborhoods, because I think that was the most disgusting things Democrats did. They didn't put these folks in no YT neighborhoods. They didn't put them in what they put them right. They closed down Black schools, Black shelters, and filled them up with Latin and immigrant people. It was all to replace, and I've been saying this it was all to replace your voting power, right? Black Americans are the swing vote. We've been the swing vote forever. They no longer want us to be the swing vote. So they imported a new group of swing voters called immigrants. Instead of rehabilitating our people that just got out of jail, that actually value the American dollar, they would rather have illegal criminals come over, try to rehabilitate them into making them American citizens. The difference is, if you haven't built something yourself, you're not gonna appreciate it. It's like see, now I'm kind of all right, let me get this off. All right, okay. So it's sort of like when you see a happy marriage, right? You may have a dude that's looking at the wife like, oh, she bad, da 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 da, but has no idea what type of mental adjustment she had to go through and her husband had to conform with for them to be a beautiful couple. Same way on the other side. You may see a happy couple, but you see a woman always grilling that man. But you don't know what type of conforming that him and his wife have done to build that garden so that it looks beautiful on the outside. It's the effort of building a first world country that third world people have not done. They haven't done the groundwork, is my point. If you don't do the groundwork of building your own first world nation, when somebody just gives you something, you're going to destroy it. When you just give somebody something, because you don't know the groundwork, what it takes to grow, you're gonna destroy it, because you don't know how to value it. See, we Black Americans value this first world nation because our ancestors, even in our lightest thought, our simplest thought, our ancestors are in our minds when we look at certain things. That's not the same when it comes to immigrants. They come here and just see a land of money. Yes, we see the value. They see the money. These are two different things. Something being valuable does not have to be paper currency, right? We see the value. They only see the cash. Two very different things. We're dealing with people that only need cash because they're poor. We look at our land around us and we see value because we have blood in it. And I think that kind of concludes my little soapbox.
But do you see these? I think that says Decazo. I think he's just spelling it differently. Decazo. So he says, Simon Platinum class, the difference is they owe us reparations and the immigrant owes them citizenship. Also, let's bring in Brother Shadowband, who really doesn't join panels very much, but he does do these videos that are profound, right? And one thing that I found, and raw, very raw, he hurt my feelings one time coming at New York because of hip hop. So, but that's still my brother, right? He showed his genealogy, and we have the same surnames from North Carolina. So there's some relation there, even if distant, and that's the same thing with me and Coach. Like we have ancestors from the same town in North Carolina. So Brother Shadowban says this. This is their liberation. When the immigrants migrate here, they're liberated. This is their peak. This is as high as they can go, right? But for us, this is our homeland. This is who we are, and we know we can do better. But now we're okay. That's his statement. So I never thought of it like that before. That they're liberated here. They're free. They're bragging about basic shit, cars that who knows if they're even leasing them, and homes. But we get to brag about how we have 55K inventions, how we broke every racial barrier there is in Hollywood. I mean, not just Hollywood, in America, like Hollywood, like music, like the science field, like Black women help put people on the moon or go into space, right? We have all these things that we still want to ascend to for our generation. They're just happy with cars and homes, right? So that's one thing. But I ran across, somebody sent me a panel. They were really disparaging, talking about their parents or grandparents migrated here and became ambassadors without having to go through Jim Crow. And I'll pay, and then, oh, your grandmother was one where she received civil rights. Like, really, really disparaging the blood that was shed on this land by our ancestors, because had it not been for our civil rights, for our grandparents who may have been a certain age when they were able to receive civil rights, equal rights, however we want to put it, they wouldn't be able to just migrate here. So when I'm walking through New York City and I'm seeing the way it changed, because I went to Brooklyn yesterday and I saw Sudanese people, and I'm like, dang. You could tell they Sudanese from their complexion. Like, certain demographics are just changing to me. Even if they have been here for a while, they weren't outside like they are now. And the way the city is changing. When I went to Harlem, what is that, Simon?
What I was saying, because it is about what, like, I just was gonna go off what Brother Shadowban said.
That
Like,
don't
we
look
just
like it could
invented.
be liquor, right? Because I don't need
No,
TikTok.
I'm about to explain. It's gasoline. One of our Black
Okay.
American brothers out of Atlanta just invented
Plastiline. It's plastiline, brother. It's
plastiline. He
plastiline.
just invented the most powerful plastiline. Like, his fuel that he's creating is gonna be used in super cars, super boats, super motorcycles, super jets. Like, this is what our new generation just gave to the world. See, we make world inventions. We make world innovations. We don't just go to your country and go, okay, I'm a copy what was there. That's not what we. And this is why a Caribbean, a African could never say there's anything similar to a Black American. Bro, you can't compare where we do. You can't compare how we build. You don't have that. You don't have that. Your cortex is not firing the same way we are. We're going through real. We in the trench all the time and coming up out of it. So this is a. So yeah, he has his own. He has his own stuff together, but he got his fuel together. He tested it over the weekend, and yo, this Hellcat behind him was. When I say screaming, it was screaming. I'm gonna send you the video, BX. So salute to this brother. He's a Brown, that's Jalen Brown.
Okay.
So we really. I just wanted some of the young folks that's there in the room to, really take that serious. What we're doing out here. So
We still have
I'll let.
inventors, y'all. We still have inventors, is the point. Right? We still inventing 55K and we probably got
Yeah, that's
10,000 pending. Because we always tinkling with something. But let me bring brother, hi Bluefire. Let me bring brother delineationist into the fold.
Before we
You were been in and out. Good morning,
Yeah, good
y'all.
morning, panel.
morning.
Good morning.
Before we move
So
too far, hold
go
on.
ahead.
Before we move too far away from the subject, when Simon was doing his initial submission, he talked about people basically coming in and checking our box, and that's what that picture that I have on my screen is about. It's about how people enter the immigration office and how they exit the immigration office. They enter the immigration office, checking the box for their actual ethnicity, their actual ethnic group from wherever they come from, and then when they leave, the only box that they're checking from that point on is our box, the Black American box, and this is something we have to definitely put an end to. This is active erasure. These people know who they are. They know what their actual ethnic group is. They had to tell the immigration office when they came in here. They know exactly who they are, and they know that they are not us. Anytime they're checking that Black American box, they're doing it on purpose, and they are actively erasing us. These people that do that are not our friends. They are enemies of Black Americans. They are trying to start a paper G-side of our ethnic group. So that's an issue we definitely need to focus on and attack. And I'll land there.
You know what I want to say? This has nothing to do with what he just said, but how he said it. And I started noticing this. When Black Americans are about to go in, they do one thing. They clear their throat and they start talking, right? Then as we're talking, we're passionate, we're trying to find the right words, we get to it's something he just said. It's like It's like the engine is stuttering before it kicks off. And I just find it so beautiful because he's originally from Detroit, but he lives in Texas, I believe. And then I believe Miss Kim, I noticed it with her. I believe she's from Delaware. And then me up here from New York. And we all do that thing there. Yeah. We so connected. We don't even know it, huh? Right. Don't even realize it. Delineation is went on T-Code. Oh, Blue and Dred, I did go back and comment under your comments. I'm here. Okay, one second. Let me get this down. Huh? What you said?
So you can shrink me down now. I just wanted to point that out.
Okay. I did go under your comments and let y'all know that I actually made y'all moderators on my YouTube channel. So when I do start hosting live panels, I expect y'all to be there. But we can get together and decide, because I guess I got to make it by November, y'all. I've been procrastinating, but I like the interviewing things that I'm doing now. But I do want to start hosting guest panels. For the simple fact, I think we need to bring more into the conversation. One of my goals is to spotlight the voices of those who are doing the work. Even though I have a small platform, I see how it's growing on YouTube. So I went from, I think it was like a little over 120 subscribers I started out with. And now I got like 186, and the views went from like 5 in the chat to now I got 50 on one, like 100 on another. So my platform does have the potential for growth. So I want to spotlight those putting in the work for the lineage also. So I am going to have a guest panel. One thing I want to do also, since y'all have known me, I'm pretty sure y'all will agree that I've been trying to show or heal whatever tension there is left from the industry politics, right? Between the North and the South, and we could bring the Midwest into it. Not, is it? No, not the Midwest, the West Coast, yeah. That thing there where they think we have beef and everybody's coming at New Yorkers and stuff. And I try to get people to see that sometimes they have to go a little deeper to see who's really talking as if they are us, to see if they are us. But I'm starting to believe that we do have Black Americans that don't have Southern roots, only because there was an enslaved population here by the Dutch. Not everybody was taken to the Caribbean, but we could go to my New Jersey branch, and there were people born there from the 1700s, and they never, they didn't migrate anywhere else. But what I do have to do before I go around sprouting this theory, I'm just putting it to you guys, I have to check and see who they married, right? Because they could have married a Southerner. So I don't know, because there's New Yorkers who come up here, say they're from the lineage, and then something in me is like, yeah, we got to figure in the factor of when the 80s, what Reagan was doing. So they're not passing vibe checks all the way. But I'm saying there's nuances to those who can't pass the vibe check. And I don't want to alienate anybody who could be of the lineage, but
That's why when I'm vibe checking somebody, that's why I'm like, people may call me an asshole, but I'd like to
right.
just stay consistent.
I said
Um,
right. Uh-huh.
that's why I said, was your people emancipated here? Like, are your
Right.
people like? It's just that simple. Like, and that's because you would know if your people from U.S. chattel slavery or not. Like, and if it's not, then all right, well, you gotta kind of stop talking to me or about me and my folks. But I don't care. Like, yeah, if you got Southern roots, most of us do. A
Right.
high majority of us do. But if you don't, then I let me know. Was your people emancipated here? Like, and then you feel me? That seems to always answer the question. Like,
It's,
was your people from U.S. chattel slavery? And once they stutter and they go, I mean, I think my grandfather came here in 1920. All right, well, guess what? You're not a Black American. All right, that don't mean if you don't have that mean you got one grandparent that came here in 1920 and did what? Started marrying Black Americans, and now that's the only grandfather that you connect with, or he bought all his how that shit
yeah.
go. But it is that's always the maintaining question.
If they
Because
were
one thing,
emancipated. So
yeah,
let me ask you
was
this.
your people part of, yeah, were they here like
So when you
prior to
said,
emancipation
uh-huh.
or emancipated from the United States?
So we know in the North, New York was like I'm gonna say technical because it should remind me there was indentured servitude after graduate manumission, right, in New York. So New York was the first to free their enslaved population, but New Jersey ratified their 13th Amendment after Juneteenth even.
Yeah, I know there's some leeway because back then different governors felt like they could hold certain things, but as a
A guy, maybe.
overall, yeah, as an overall guide, it's very safe to just say were your people here prior to emancipation,
Mhm.
and because what emancipation did, even if you were free prior to emancipation, you can still be kidnapped, right, and thrown into a red state, right? So even if you were free, you still had the threat of being thrown into,
Thank you for joining Native.
to being
Native
thrown.
gotta go to work. Hmm.
Yeah, even the American Indians, like you had the threat of being put on, thrown into some type of captivity. What the emancipation did was cut that threat and free the folks that were already in captivity. So, and if they don't like that question, it'll be like, all right, well, are you a 14th Amendment? Were your people given the rights of the 14th Amendment? Are they found in the 1870 census? And so most of the high majority of our people know these answers, and the ones that don't know, they're either going to eventually spill out their Caribbean background, or they're at yeah, it's most likely it's gonna be a Caribbean background because wasn't no Africans like that here, or they're gonna say, or they're gonna stand on their square and say, well, yeah, well, as far as I know, most of my family was in Detroit my whole life, but yeah, I got some roots from Mississippi. Like
Hmm.
that's gonna be their pattern. We gotta learn how our people start, how they
Yes.
respond to the lineage check. But
Yeah, you know what I'm thinking of? There were some who may have been younger. They don't introduce like Sunday dinner tradition, stuff like that. And then one even said, "Well, my mom's wasn't home like that." And then, I start thinking, me inside my head, when the D-rugs was pushed into our community, sometimes the parents split apart.
yeah, and
Yeah,
that's a true story too. Like we got a bunch
yeah.
of people that was like me. Like I'm one of those first generations out of the hard rock era. You know what I'm saying? And I understand that. We're gonna have some people who moms just wasn't there, just wasn't there. because just because the rock era was over ish in the 80s 90s, it still had the effects in the early and mid 2000s. Like I was in high school in the early 2000 mid 2000s, and you can still tell which homies was there, and their parents was still outside looking for looking for the rugs, like, and and you could tell who had the hustle to really feed their home and who was hustling because they thought it was cool. And I ain't never respect the ones who did it just because they thought it was cool. Like, that's corny to me. You got bros you got people, family that really need to eat type. um so yeah, like, so I it's more, but when we start talking about how who is our people, most of our folks know that they come from, if they come from US chattel slavery, and the ones that don't, they're unable to claim it. So they're not gonna, because they already have a negative look on what US chattel slavery is anyway, so they don't want to attach themselves to it. But since we've been standing on our square, all of a sudden all of our US chattel enslavement ancestors are so popular. So
Yeah. Yep. I don't know. I just have a lot of, well, I don't really have a lot of time to think, but every now and then it pops up into my head about certain aspects of the North. And that's what led me to ask you that question. But we could talk about that, so because I want to see your answer, but when I get off of here. Hi, Blue. I miss you sometimes. I don't be seeing you on these
I'll be
panels like I
in
used
and
to.
out. I'll be in and out.
Yeah.
CBS.
Hey.
You gotta think some of their Black Americans that their family members never been enslaved, like Queen Latifah. She comes from a family of free people of color. Like her people was never enslaved,
Right.
but she's still Black American.
Right. Right, but when we stick to the dates, and Simon probably could confirm or deny this, when we stick to the dates of 1863 to 1865, that would include the free color, right? We just call it the Emancipation Era because that was the significant event that happened during that time, correct?
yeah, because
So,
that's what I'm saying.
yeah,
Yeah, because if you was free, it removed that threat of being kidnapped also. So yeah, it's the same thing.
that's
Right.
why I tell people, especially these immigrants who come up here and be like, no, but when you look it up, it says XYZ. And I'm like, you can't do that with American history. You can't do that with Black American history specifically. Because there's a lot of grays, there's a lot of nuances, there's a lot of things that once we start doing our genealogy, we realize that event happened. Like you just got Grand Rising Toy Toy and Chichia. You can't just say because you read it in a book, that's just what it is, right? But
Yeah.
that's what they like to do. There's a lot of nuances when you get down to your personal genealogy. Go ahead, Blue.
I was yeah when cause I have a like on my dad's side his father's my dad's father's mother was a free people of color. Their people was never enslaved, but they lived in the South. But then again, they my brother and sister they also believe that she was indigenous, so that's why she wasn't enslaved.
So free people of color, that term went to everybody non-white, right? So you may be a free person of color if you were American Indian, if you were light skinned mulatto, or if you were actually a melanated free captive that bought their freedom, that had I like a lot of times, like, you could get your freedom back if you um really if you invented something. A lot of people got their freedom from straight inventing stuff. So, and if we got 55,000 patents, imagine how many people got their freedom off just inventing stuff, right? And so then what that free person would do would probably sell their patent, or or be in a patent joint joint ownership with a white person, so that they can then buy the rest of their family also and put them into freedom. So
Mm-hmm.
so yeah, the free person of color doesn't just mean freed United States captives that got their freedom. It means everybody non-white that happened to be in the United States, which is cool because if you were non-white, you were definitely treated like you was non-white. You know what I'm saying? You got the non-white treatment. So yeah, and I think this, you know what's annoying about this is that these these people that's supposed to be in charge of these African studies or African American studies, apparently there's some dumb ASSs that been teaching our history wrong, and then it wasn't until foundational Black Americans came with, and the Negroes and the freedmen came with real scholarship that been challenging now their their understanding of what they think happened in the USA.
Right, because the lady, it was a lady I think that helped DeSantis, and she's Afro Caribbean, but because she had a degree in African American studies, they felt she was perfectly fine to sit there and align herself with DeSantis, if not mistaken. So my issue is this: the Democrats have made a case for me to never vote for any of them again, and to also try to get somebody to propose a bill that a Caribbean and a African should not be making or speaking or thinking they should vote on anything that has to do with us. They're just not getting it. But conveniently, they get things for themselves and their people, and I'm really over it.
Yeah.
Simon.
But when you were saying that they were just not, but that when free people of color at that time was called that, it was just black people and the indigenous people. The Asians wasn't here. The Asians came in like the like almost towards the end of slavery. That's when they came into the United States of America.
Right, but he's talking about also the mulattoes.
Oh, the
Yeah,
mixed
because
people.
they don't want mulattoes to identify as white too. So that's what he's talking. I believe the Asians wouldn't have been included in that statement. I
Yeah,
don't
they
think.
wasn't included in that free people of color.
Right, but you know what? We also had chancery records, and
That's
I
why.
just
That's
find
why I was like, when they start calling themselves people of color, I said, when did the Asians start calling themselves people of color? Like, when did all these
to
other
latch
people start
on.
calling them that?
Grand
But
Rising
what
BX.
Grand Rising,
Hey,
Mama
Mama
G,
G.
Hey, I
what's
came
up?
up here just real quick. BX, I wanna send you a text in your box, in your
Oh,
inbox.
okay,
I wanna talk to you.
what I
Okay?
do?
You ain't do nothing.
Okay, KK, because your tone, I said, what I do? Go ahead,
You
Mama
don't you
G.
don't do nothing. You my girl. No, I started to jump in there, but I was told not to. And I didn't like that. I started to jump in there. I said, that's my girl, that's BX.
Right.
And I got a phone call. They told me don't jump in it, but I was ready to jump in it. But anyway, I'll DM you. We'll talk. We'll
Okay,
talk.
Mama G. Thank
All
you.
right, baby. All right. Okay.
All right.
She just came in like, come and talk to me, like Jodeci.
Uh-huh. Hey, Mia. Yes. I don't know. So, what was I saying? Oh, we had chancery records where people were like I think Simon brought it up, where the ancestors were winning their freedom through the court system and stuff. So, record. Mia says, "Good morning, good AM,
Good
cousins."
morning.
hmm You
Morning.
want to come up? It's a vent session, Mia,
I gotta
for
go in about
FBA.
10 minutes. I gotta start work.
Okay, you got anything you want to contribute to?
Um, Final thoughts from me. Keep up the good fight for sure. Look for opportunities to push our ethnic group to the forefront. and make sure that you continue to delineate because we are being actively erased. And some of these people get on these panels and they expose their hands. Call them out. Don't let them off the hook. That's one thing that really bothers me when, I know people want to keep the conversation going. You're on these panels and somebody comes up cosplaying. And I don't like when people let them get a pass and they're like, okay, well, go ahead and answer the prompt. Nah, don't let stay on their head about their ethnic group. If they can't name where their people are from, their parents and grandparents and all that are from, there's something that's up with that. These people are actively erasing us, and if they think it's okay to do it in our face, they're doing it behind closed doors when they're applying for scholarships, when they're applying for grants, when they're applying for all these different things that should be set aside for our ethnic group. And I'll land there. Y'all have a great day. I got to get started on work.
You have a great day.
You have a great day
Peace,
too,
y'all.
Peace.
So,
Thank you for
Hey,
the gift.
Afro Queen and
Huh?
Mia.
What happened, Blue?
You can drop
I
me.
was saying,
Oh,
hey,
It'll
Afro
affect the
Queen and
algorithm.
Mia.
hey Blue, hey
Good.
cousins, how y'all doing this morning?
Good.
good.
Wonderful.
It is a let's say this is a great day to be a Black American.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely. I feel very proud. Those, let me tell you, right? And it's like those that have ethnic pride in themselves, like other immigrants and stuff, they fine. They don't feel no offense as to what we doing. You know what I'm saying? It's the ones that's really trying to do the tethering that just feel some type of way. So, it's wonderful to know that people understand where the hell we coming from, and they gonna talk to their people to sit the hell down. Cause I'm tired of this.
That's true. I think the issue becomes that the ones who don't have ethnic pride, who are trying to tether on, the ones who are like the lady who was getting arrested and said to unalive a Black American, or like the Westmores who can vote no to certain things specifically for us, and none of these groups are speaking against CARICOM. I think it becomes the same thing as when we say, well, not all cops are bad, but the good cops aren't speaking up. So the ones who have ethnic pride, who come on our panels and say they get it, if they leave it there on our panels, that's where the issue lies. Why aren't they speaking to their people? And I wanted to speak to a younger FBA woman because they were on a Caribbean live saying that Herc influenced hip hop, but I know that when this whole conversation uh, started about who created and who got influence and all of that, she understood the truth of the matter that her did not come from Jamaica and bring Jamaican elements. Jamaican elements were rejected, and so it's kind of frustrating when I got to sit there and look at this mess, right? But I ain't. I just was like, I'm gonna catch her. I'm really gonna catch her.
You know what, Auntie?
And I
When it
tried to
comes to
catch
the
her, and
hip
she was like,
hop,
"What I do?" But I'm gonna talk to her on the back end, just so we could. I got to get an understanding of why you would even say that when you've been on panels defending it from pure FBA side. Like it was just really weird.
mm-mm.
Go
Oh,
ahead,
you know
Mia.
what, Auntie? And they always bring up Cool Herc and Grandmaster Flash, but they never talk about Africa Bambaataa because he's actually the one
Mhm.
and be like the main Black American person being accredited to hip hop. So it's
Wait,
like,
no,
yeah,
he's not. He's not
you're not,
FBA Bambada.
Bambaataa's not FBA.
No, 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 no. Bambada is actually Caribbean. So KRS, so is KRS-One. So you got to go back before Bambada, right? So I think
Okay.
that when we enter the likes of Bambada, KRS-One, and stuff, these are the people that had the power to commercialize hip hop.
Okay.
Also, right? Because DJ Coke Rock, he was like the first credited MC of hip hop. He is a foundational Black American with North Carolina roots.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But what it is that he did not make like a complete album. He did a lot of park jams, as that was the custom of hip hop back in the days. A lot of park
Right.
battles or whatever was going on at the time. But these other folks that come in and they were able to get like record deals or a certain thing. Who was unalive like that? Don't tell me Coca, because Coca Rocket was still alive. Well, who was unalive?
Oh, that's what Pat said.
Right, right. Because I don't know who. So I mentioned Bambada, Coca Rock. Okay, because Coca Rock just made a song with a younger guy, and it's on not YouTube. It's on iTunes.
Mm.
So I don't know. Was he in microphone check? Can you just double check that story and let me know who it is you're saying was unalive? Because as far as I know, nobody I mentioned has been unalive. So that's why I got
Yeah.
my voice went up a couple of octaves. Um, so who really had the power to commercialize it? Who I see clips going around now is Curtis Blow. Curtis Blow mom.
Curse love.
Yeah, they say his mom's is FBA, but we don't know who his daddy is. But he hasn't really entered the chat with this whole, to me, unless I missed it. He hasn't really entered the chat, but it seems some people found some clips of him from his early days and started spreading it. But when I first got on these apps, I said, why isn't nobody mentioning Curtis Blow? So I did the research, right? And I was like, oh. And I left him like with nobody mentioning it. First of all, we don't know who his dad is. Second of all, he had the power to commercialize. Oh, Scott LaRock. Yeah, no, I'm talking about
Yes,
Coke.
Skylar.
Coke. LaRock. They two different people, but they both got LaRocks in their name. Um, and I would argue that Curtis Blow, even if he didn't mean to, the power to commercialize it is how hip hop got exploited, right? Because who was giving the money to commercialize it? Who owned the
Right.
first label
The
that was on
small
it?
hats. Yeah.
Yeah. So Bambada, my whole thing, not to start no rumors about Curtis Blow. Um, Bambada isn't Black American. He's not foundational. He's not, and he's a
Okay.
stain on hip hop at this time. And so there's been some allegations made about the brother. So
Oh my gosh.
yeah, he's no longer a member of Zulu Nation.
Yeah, there's
If
been
Oh
not mistaken.
wow.
Yeah.
I wonder what they gonna put in the hip hop museum.
I'm not
Um,
even going to see because isn't Fat Joe involved in that?
I'm not sure. I hope not. I really hope not,
I
cause then we
believe
gonna
so.
have the Puerto Ricans participating in hip hop.
you,
Oh
That's
my
what
know
it's gonna
god.
you
say
know what's
anyway.
funny? There's Puerto Ricans that will like at that time. Older Puerto Ricans said is admitting that Puerto Ricans had nothing to do with the creation of hip hop.
Literally,
We
Yeah,
even
can
those are the
Google is
ones
we
that
saying
can
that
say
we
shit.
for
but
your
I've been seeing
friends.
videos
Some people say.
of older Puerto Ricans saying that. They said they came afterward when it was already established, like in the late '70s.
Yeah.
Literally, salsa was being established during that time, and that was big over there. So they definitely have no head over here. And I quite explicitly remember my mother telling me growing up, hearing her community calling it N-word music. Okay,
Yeah.
so yeah, no, they be lying. Everybody
Cartoons.
wanna
Yeah.
be credited to what we do all the time. I'm so tired of it. Y'all gotta understand, and this is what I be saying too when they get up here talking that yin yang. Yo, y'all don't even claim us by ethnics, bro. Like, be fucking for real. So
Hi,
stop trying to
Joseph.
act like
Joseph.
y'all down with the culture and all that, and y'all so I'm here and
Right.
This my issue. So Black Americans have been documented in New York since the 1600s. We had a culture before people started migrating here. Like they gotta cut
yes,
it out. Like we raised these other people. Why y'all bothering us? There you go,
yes.
Bay. Look, my Bay. Look, my Bay. Come up, Bay. Come explain yourself, Bay.
Good morning. Is that what I think that is?
Uh-huh. And that's not really my Bay. He's a happily married man, but the page name is Bay, and I would love for him to tell everybody what Bay is and what Bay does.
Hey, Mr. Foundational.
Hey, family, how y'all doing?
Hey.
Grand Rising.
Fine. How are you, Grand Rising?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Thank you for having me up.
Of course.
Yeah. Um, So Bay is Black American establishment. For those who don't know, this is pretty much the hub for all Black American businesses, where I do the hard work of researching and making sure these people are Black American. I do extensive research. I use different tools, ChatGPT, to get the names of the owners and everything. Then I use another tool, just to find out, what their lineage and everything. So, I really I really break it down so you don't have to do the hard work and try to figure out whether they're Black American or not, and making sure that you put your money in the right place. And pretty much promote everybody business. BX, if you can, I was trying to look for because I think you sent me your book title, but I wanted, like, if you could send me a website or something where I can kind of promote the book. I would love to do that, the books and
Sure.
everything. Yeah, so pretty much it's every Tuesday I promote Black American owned businesses. So therefore, all you gotta do is just scroll down. If it's in your area, you could be able to support.
Well, the book is on Amazon. So you
Oh, it's
want
on
the link?
Amazon.
Yeah, I can still send you the link though, because it's a 3 book series, and I just finished the spinoff. So I gotta have that edited
Yeah, that's
and cleaned
perfect.
up and published.
Yeah, that's perfect. That's perfect.
Okay, good. I'll put that in your chat. So you sound tired, but how's that going? Do we have any feel for if people are still boycotting? Because this is what I feel. I feel the disrespect hasn't stopped; it's just gotten quieter, right?
Hmm.
So I don't feel that boycotting should just be for a month. Like they're doing in October, they're doing African Restaurant Week, and I guess they're pushing for people to come support their businesses. I ain't going because I get that some of y'all will. I'm not saying treat them all bad. You got to see where
Hmm.
they principles lie. But for the most part, I'm still with collective boycotting. I don't
Oh, I'm
feel that
always
we
with that.
should. Hmm?
Absolutely.
That should be a
Yeah.
forever thing.
Right. Let me get this
Speaking,
part out. Let me get this part out because
Go.
I'm not going to pay people to disrespect us or our ancestors. So I'm gonna put that there. Go ahead. Go ahead.
yes.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Um, for one, Mr. Foundational, you forgot to resend me the link to the Telegram. Remember?
Oh no, my bad. I got a lot of people just hit me in the DM and everything, so I apologize.
I know.
But I'm
I'm
gonna just
sorry.
saying.
You know what I'm trying to do? Remember what I discussed last time? So let me
Mm-hmm.
put y'all on too. So speaking of the boycott, I feel like a big missing link is having a place to shop at during the boycott. So I'm working on launching and developing a online black owned department store that'll compete with like Target, Walmart, Amazon, delivery in all 50 states, including a supermarket feature where people can get their groceries delivered or pick it up, using all black owned farms and manufacturers. For example, there's a brand going around for, I always forget the name of the brand, but they're a black owned laundry detergent brand, and the family has a manufacturing plant in Alabama. Um, so that's one thing I would like to establish. So I'm really trying to get investors. So that's why I'm kind of like pressed about getting in the group too. Because I really want to take the initiative to launch this really bad. I feel like this is such a missing link. Our black manufacturers and farms need to pull their products out of these stores and go ahead and shop at black owned stores. We need to restructure
Hmm.
the entire model. And I think that's going to be key. We can't just do bits and pieces. We got to really like break it down to the foundation and re-pour the cement type thing. So
No, I agree. I agree with you 100%.
I know
Yeah,
we
yeah, yeah.
I'm sorry about that. I know we live in different states, but we got to help fight this. The largest black-owned grocery store in America. It's named Living Fresh. It's in
yes, and
Foster Park, Illinois. So just put the word out there and try to help keep these people open.
Well, one thing I want to do with them, which I'm gonna reach out to them, but I just don't know how, is that I'm wondering like, are they on certain platforms? They have actually, if they go a little up north to Wisconsin, to my hometown in Milwaukee, they got a prime opportunity because on the north side of Milwaukee, there's literally no shopping. They shut down all the shopping. No Walmart, no supermarkets, nothing. When I say nothing, nothing. And everybody has to go to the south side of town in order to really shop or shop online. So it's prime opportunity out there. It's in the little like to expand and to, reinvest into his community. And also, like I was saying on another panel, he's a pastor of a mega church. Ain't no way in hell that them folks ain't supporting that man.
Yeah,
Well, they had a
he's doing stuff for the community. He's having fruit, vegetable, organic. So we gotta support that to keep that open. We
well,
can't
good
we
news.
can't lose we can't lose any black American business. We can't afford to lose any black American business. So we gotta support people.
Good news is they had something called the Customer Day, and they had 1,000 people come there just recently, and it was a nice successful day. 1,000 people came through, started shopping. It's on my page right now. So they actually had some success. And now people are shopping there now. It's actually started booming now. So I'm actually happy for them.
Yes, I'm happy they put out that APV. Um, I wonder if my people would. I'm gonna ask them about it because I got my Chicago and Illinois cousins. You know how that go. So I'm gonna definitely check him out. But I would even like to work with him to expand his brand. But yeah, I have to see how I'm approach that because I don't know how to necessarily like present myself with that because that's not necessarily like my field of study, but I'm very knowledgeable in it.
Mhm.
Do me a favor, while I have you, foundational. Nola saying, "Hey, y'all." But
Peace,
Hey,
this
peace, Grand
Friday,
Nola.
Rising. My bad. I wasn't
tell
even
us
looking at the
about
comments. Hey,
Blam
Nola, how you
Fam.
doing, Grand Rising?
He said Grand Rising Nola. I'm trying to get it out before I forget. Cause there's people saying we need black owned American owned apps. Tell us about Blam Fam. So some can go over there and open up
Mhm.
accounts. Yeah.
So Bland Fam is an app that created by for us by us. It's not like that other app. What's his name with that gentleman? What's his name?
Isaac Hayes, fan
What's
base.
his name?
That's Isaac Hayes Jr.
Yeah,
fan
yeah.
base.
It's not like him because he is quote unquote black owned, but his CEO is YT, his COO is YT, and everybody on the top boards is YT. So it's quote unquote black American owned, but he got all these YT people around that's giving him orders, right, and kind of managing and putting in prime positions. And he's not for black American people. He's for influencers and anybody, right? Blanfam, excuse me, Blanfam is Black American owned. He's been kind of saying, "Hey guys, we got our own app. You don't have to go through the racism of of TikTok," and everybody got kind of ignoring it. Um, and TikTok Shop,
Mm.
TikTok Shop, they took that from Blanfam. Blanfam started the whole buy from your buy from the app type of thing, and TikTok Shop stole it and then silenced them. And he also got buy from your post, where you can post something, and if somebody like it, they can buy from it, whether it's a product or whatever, they can buy from it. So that's another thing that he got that's different from TikTok. See, TikTok, you got to go and well, now they started to buy from your post. I'm lying. That's the whole thing now, where everybody's got the product and do a post. But before you had to go live and do it. So they kind of stole his whole idea.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, we should cross over. Really, we gotta get up off these apps. I think we need to do a full on boycott,
Mm-hmm.
social media, everything. Get up, and we need to talk to our beauticians and stuff, and get them on there, and make sure people is properly vetted and stuff like that. Because
Mm-hmm.
they keep giving out the sauce too. With our culture, basically our hairstyles and stuff like that. All these influencers, they need to go ahead. Just go ahead and move over. Let them starve
Mm-hmm.
out. Like when we got banned from TikTok.
Yeah.
It's like the Americans. Where's the Americans?
Well, I kind of wish that that band lasted a week because I really wanted to know what they were like really was gonna say. When we came back a week later.
Yeah, I do
We
too.
was only there for 12 hours.
It was like, the Americans, we miss you so much already. There's no dances, there's no nothing. They took all the American videos down. It's just us, and it's so boring. I was like, I know. You're way over there spreading them beans and toast. We know.
Because they know they bland without us.
Yeah.
Literally, they bland. There's nothing.
The British did not show up. The Canadians did not. The Canadians tried to do some shade, but they did not show up either. So I find it so funny that they was just.
What's going
What?
on, Marshall?
What's going on?
Yeah, you just waking up, just getting off of work. What are you doing?
Yeah, I kind of just woke up. I saw the family. I said, let me hop on real quick. I brushed my
Oh.
teeth first. I got y'all. Don't worry about it. I brushed my teeth. So let me get it. Can't be tired. Even to the phone, you can't be talking crazy with the breath swelling crazy. What up, Simon? What you doing, man? You hiding in the side? Simon only
Yes,
come out when
I've
the
been
ops come out.
quiet.
I just
Yeah.
got back to my phone. Yeah, you know, I was doing so I was handling this
Oh,
contract.
okay.
What up with you, fam?
Oh, no, I'm good, brother. Grand Rise. I thought you only come out when the ops come out. He's like, I'm chilling right now.
Yeah, nah, I only come out with the options out, right? Point them out. But
Mhm.
I'm really well. I think it's all. I'm gonna be focusing more on really just this active work. But yeah, I mean, if I see a op, they're definitely gonna have to get corrected. But it's so many. All right, so this was happening now. Like we so valuable. Like I wish we could just see that. Like everything we like. What I had to learn is, like even with you, Marshall. Like I'll go on a panel if you in the room. Like if I see you on stage, I'm trying to see what they talking about in there.
No, I appreciate you. Thank you so much.
So it's like same thing with BX, Blue. But it's like I try not to even. I'm trying to have myself not be as visible on certain panels because I know that if people see me up on the stage, or I should just get a burner account so I could run down motherfuckers and don't nobody even know. But
Yeah.
but that's what I'm saying. I don't want our people to keep going into these this and that rooms, and these rooms is full of losers. They're full of losers with no information.
Yeah.
They're full of losers that really just want to. They really just want to bait us and troll because they don't know their own history. We are the only people that know our history and their history. We're the only people that got the stats, that got all the information. Like
I agree with that.
Yeah.
Because you're right. Because if
Yeah.
I see one of y'all on there now, I'm coming, and that's how everybody do. So if y'all on
yeah,
there
then they
trolling them,
following
y'all like,
you.
you
Yeah.
right.
I
Y'all
should
giving
use
them
my other
views.
page and come on to my other page.
Oh
But
I'm
yeah,
gonna get
absolutely.
a burner account so that if I go in some rooms, the information still gets passed on, but without my people having to come in there and also step on your neck. You only got to step a roach. You step on these flies and these roaches, good 5 times. They good.
you
I
know
mean,
we assemble like Voltron. We the Power Rangers.
I know, for real, for real. You
I
right,
blocked
definitely.
their asses. I ain't gonna lie. I'm tired of them for real. Spreading misinformation and using black, like, what's that? I don't even
Hey,
want to
Big
call them out.
Joe.
I don't want to get. I don't even want to get them no clout. But I block them. I'm tired of
Grand
seeing them.
Rising.
Actually,
So
think that's what
somehow
Yeah,
I've been
you
that's
doing
why.
too.
work.
I got a few blocks. I've been on my little block thing too. This is new for me. I be
Hey,
stepping
Tessa.
shit up to the plate, but yeah, I've been on my block live, my block
Yeah,
move.
yeah,
So
yeah,
it's new
yeah.
to me. It's new to
Simon
me.
be
I
alerting me to new pages. So
Nah,
I do
Simon like
have
to
like the
fight. He like to
big
fight. He a
trolls
warrior.
block, But every now and then they get a second page, and Simon, Dred, FBA
Mm-hmm.
Soldier, those fellows will be over there on the panels, and I'm intrigued every time they're on the panel, the way they debate, stuff like that, new information that they bring out. So me, who be telling everybody stay off of people platforms, block them, fall into a new, either a second page of a big troll or a new troll, and then I'm in
Mm-hmm.
somebody else's platform. And I
I
told them
see.
I got to stop following these men
Right.
trying to listen to them debate people because it's no good for me. Like y'all don't understand. Then I be in rooms by myself and they
Bandwagon
be
for
coming in,
me.
BX, you're hateful, you're xenophobic. I be like, where I know
Mm-hmm.
you from? And 9 times out of 10 it's because I was following you guys who I tell y'all to stay off these panels. Okay,
We need
brothers?
to get you in no
I
trouble,
I
man.
seen
We
a
need to
Yeah.
get you in no
FBA
trouble.
brother. He was on a panel full of
Thank
white
you,
tea
y'all, for
people
gifting.
trying to. I'm surprised they did not mute him, but he was running them down.
Who?
He was I forgot who it was. I
Was it
I wanted to
Brandon,
follow him.
FBA
He was an FBA brother.
American Warheaded? Cause he be on weird panels, but he be going in
He
on
was
them
on a
too.
white tea panel. I was
Yeah.
sitting in the I was sitting in the hallways at first, and then I went in and just sit in the audience. But he was eating those white tea people up when they was talking about they was using Charlie that dude that got Pum Pum in
Was
his
talking
Yeah,
head.
out his neck.
CK. We call him
Yes,
CK.
PK,
CK
and they were
Saber.
using Floyd that passed during the pandemic,
Wow.
and they were trying to say, well, black people, they committed all these crimes and all this stuff, and then they start using per capita, and this dude said, can I turn on my screen? Dude turned on the screen, so they had them all shut up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Once you
I
start,
show him
don't know
this.
who was that FBA person, but he was running them down.
What the
mm-hmm.
so
What?
look, what happened was on X, right? One of the one of the white women, X took this down, right? X literally took this down because this was a response to that CK incident, right? With all this George Floyd talking, all this BS, right? So she went and did all this information on X, and she got this was a whole thread. Like this thread was mad long, and Elon Musk erased it, but we screenshotted it before it got erased. So these white folks is easy to run down. I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
listen, you don't got nothing to come. What are you talking about? Crime rates? Look at you guys have high, and guess what? They quiet. They simmer down, and they go back into their tail wagging. And then if I bring up the other document showing how they got so much subsidies and how they actually the ones that got all the damn reparations after because when they got here, them Ellis Island members got here, they didn't know
Landlockers.
what to do in this land. They didn't know
Mm-hmm.
what to do.
Can you
This
send me
government
those?
gave them hella money.
Can you send me those?
And
The
then I
one with all the
and then,
reparations. And how will we put that when they say you're 1350, right? So how do we put that? 2875 to them when they
yeah,
say
yeah,
that?
yeah. You're
Okay.
2875. You're 2860. You 28 exactly. Yeah,
It's
Okay.
and it's
2875 for sure. And I love that the
So when you bring
person
up
is
the
displaying the
1350,
FBI data because I always
Yeah.
screen I have a screenshot of that in my phone. I said even in 2019, y'all led in crime by the millions. Y'all led in crime by 3 million people. And in 2024, they updated the data and y'all still leading crime.
see the
So
thing
stop
is,
being
even when
yeah.
it,
One moment. Marshall wants to say something. Go ahead,
no,
Marshall.
go ahead. My bad. I got a little delay. Go ahead. Finish, sis. My bad. I apologize.
No, no, it's okay. I was telling them stop using them copy and paste as PowerPoint statistics and go ahead and use the real numbers and we're gonna have a real debate. Let's talk about it because how come we keep being overly highlighted? And also Harvard just put out a study saying that black men have been out of prisons lately. The
Mm-hmm.
incarceration rate for black men has dramatically dropped, like OD.
Hey, nah, you're right.
Yup.
Go
So
ahead,
when
Marshall.
the
I'm
thing
sorry.
is,
Go ahead.
Go ahead,
no, I was
Marshall.
gonna. No, I was gonna say the thing is, when they talk about that 1350, what they forget about is about the 50% exoneration rate. That's when I stopped them right in their tracks. So those same people that got arrested, quote unquote, they got exonerated. So we're not gonna play that game. Another thing is, I always break them down, right? When they go into my panel, I ask them for their ethnicity. 9 out of 10, they're so dumb they don't know race, ethnicity, and nationality. So they say, eyes white. I said, no, what's your ethnicity? What's your
Mhm.
ethnicity?
Mhm.
What you mean, what's the ethnicity? So I got to educate you on ethnicity. Well, ethnicity is eyes white American. No, no, no. Let me teach you what ethnicity and you when you break them down. Oh, you are Irish immigrant that
Yo,
came late 1800s, 1900s. And
Mhm.
then that breaks because when they what they do is they hide under the white and they feel powerful. But when you break them down to their ethnicity, you could see they whole demeanor kind of, and then you start talking the information because they realize they took it to a different Black American, right? So
Sure.
so I always hope panels demolishing them when it comes down to anything, especially reparations. Oh God, I'm always because they try to say, well, that you guys got to do it off of merit. Well, I tell them, you guys don't do it off of no damn merit. You guys came here, got land lottery, 1,000,000 acres of land. They gave y'all the land lottery for free. You guys came here and got all kinds, like with brother Sean right there, all kinds of benefits to help you out. It was no merit. And if a lot of them said, well, I was poor, and I said that means your ancestors fumble the bag, and they lazy and dumb. They just gonna fumble the bag, and now y'all poor. That's a dumb thing. That's not a good
Yep.
thing. If you
Yep.
if you if you poor and you had a 200-year head start, and we catching up to you, that you should be ashamed of yourself. One man said, "Well, I ain't past 10th grade." I said that's dumb. That you
Oh
bragging about you
no.
ain't past 10th grade. You have a 200-year head start, and you ain't take the initiative to pass 10th grade. So he really started feeling like, damn, yeah.
Nah, that's crazy. I was
Yeah.
like, and here go little old black old me about to graduate college, and you way past 10th grade. Sorry,
Like
make it make sense.
I've seen black people get in debates with white people that always say that black Americans got low IQ, but or high crime rate, and then they show them they actually be doxing these people be showing their crime stats. It'd be so funny. Like one
Mm-hmm.
white dude had his rap sheet was long, and somebody was like, I don't know why you're not in jail. The crimes that, and he wasn't doing no minor crime. He was doing some major crime and sitting there talking like that.
That's because they feel like they power. That's the thing. And then when you start breaking them down from that YT status, they won't talk like that. That's the thing. When y'all get in a debate, don't ask them for their ethnicity. That breaks that down real quick. Because they think that I'm YT and I say so, or I'm white and I'm better, even though they doing a million crimes.
Mhm. Yeah, and
Um,
that's what it all be boiling down to. Like like, and that's what's different. Like, it's easy for us to run down white folks. Like, these immigrants don't know that. Yeah, we're giving y'all the smoke because you're in the way of our easy victim, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're in the way of our easy victim because you love the easy victim. Our easy victim is your savior. The victim that we
exactly.
stomping out is literally their saving grace.
Hey, Tiani.
Yeah, a big
Hey,
finally reaching the
Tiani.
USA is these immigrants top, like that's what they dream about every night. If I could just get to the USA, oh how everything would be great. Oh, the city, the 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 streets are paved with no litter. Like and so yeah, I like how Shadow Ben said it. Yeah, that's the peak of their life, getting to the USA. Meanwhile, ours is different. We know we could do better in this USA. So,
And they so with it. They come to the USA, they move here, they never go back. And when they go visit, they try to live like the rich touristy type of lifestyle when they go visit. They don't go visit their family. They don't
hmm
try to build nothing back
They go
there.
they
Like,
go they go back to flex on their
Hi, K
401k.
Caliente.
yes, they do. Oh, I'm living good in America. Blah 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 blah. Look, they'll rent exotic cars and stay in exotic places out there,
You know,
not knowing that they coming back to some debt when they get back to the city and stuff like that. So
knowing they ain't pay their rent in the USA, but they
they
want
ain't
to go
paying
back to their
their
home country and try to flex. People
Mm-hmm.
priorities is messed up.
they saying they out there driving Bentleys and all
yeah.
these luxury cars. You do know that a lot of those cars are stolen and
You
Yes,
they
know
they
they don't
parked
are.
in
got
the
no
Where on the
roads.
motorways.
continent?
Yeah, a lot of
Yeah,
those cars are stolen and
absolutely.
they
That was
shipped
the
over
whole
there.
thing. Yep, from Canada and the United States.
A guy, they found this guy. He lived in California, and they found his vehicle got stolen. They said they ran the VIN number, and they found a bunch of cars, and they ran the VIN number, and they found out that his car was in Nigeria.
Mm.
Yes,
That's
and they followed it
crazy.
to Nigeria, and
Thank you,
when they
babe.
found it, they found out that they saw a whole bunch of cars on the yard and in the shipping container. So, and he was coming. That one was coming from
Thank you,
California, but I remember
honey.
the one from Canada, and that was insane. I was like, "Oh my gosh!" So they heist it there, and they get it to the water. They get it to whoever they got at the
Thank you,
water,
sister.
and they put it in the shipping containers, and they be out.
Ain't nobody cracked down on them yet. I don't think they deserve BMW. I
Yeah,
think they deserve to all go back home and fix the
that's
roads
why
so these BMWs
Nigeria,
don't get messed up when they can legally purchase them again.
right? That's why Nigeria is pretty. The Nigerians are pretty much banned from these countries because they've been stealing and doing
Yep,
fraud.
yep. Even here, they banned. The whole continent is banned from here, except for like two countries.
And that's like Morocco and Egypt and all
North
those
African
northern countries.
countries, yeah.
Some
Hey,
of them are really delusional. Yeah, go
can I
ahead,
get your
Simon.
opinion on something real quick? What's
Yeah.
your thoughts on this? The mayor of Chicago
Oh, he about to be
signing
out.
signing an executive order saying that ICE can't come on government properties in the city.
Is it
First of
kidding?
all, that's
That,
cute. That's political theater, but he
mhm.
cannot override the he cannot override the federal government. He don't
The
have that
federal, right?
power.
Okay.
Oh yeah, absolutely. He done
He's
lost
doing
his
that for
rabbit ass
political
mind.
theater.
Yeah.
There's an election coming up, so he's
Hmm.
still in the running for that. So that's all a show. But he's not.
Mm-hmm.
But those
Um,
people are not gonna vote him in there because they sick of him.
so
So what?
Thank you for the
here's my
gift.
issue. I said Brandon Johnson, that's his name, Mayor Johnson, and Mayor Adams must have either been immigrants or had immigrant lovers. And you know what I found out? Mayor Adams, or former Mayor Adams' mistress, is Dominican and wrote a book, and that's why
Yep.
he's not in the running. So I need to know, God or the ancestors, go ahead and reveal who Brandon
Oh,
Johnson
he's a
is.
Haitian. He's Haitian.
Yeah, but is it conclusive?
Mm.
I mean, is it concrete that we know this?
Yeah. That man is a
Oh,
Haitian. Yeah.
okay.
The family already
He got the
lineage
looks.
checked me. Yeah, he's a Haitian.
This is
Okay.
Haitian
why he's going
American.
so
Oh,
hard.
this
This
is
Yeah,
is
so
why he's
I'm
making
going.
a
with
lot of
Blue then.
sense.
That is political theater. Also, I don't know what is it like his form of revenge? You know how the immigrants say, "Well, I migrated here to get my resources back,"
Mm-hmm.
and I'm
Yeah. So.
wondering
Oh.
if it's a form of because I don't understand how somebody could be an American citizen and just really do the things that these mayors are doing.
Yeah. So definitely think that's one of the things is definitely revenge to get back and help out who they deem as their fellow people because they one thing about an immigrant is that their alliance is to other immigrants, right? They actually got some kind of code. You know how we got our code? We
For
see a
sure.
black American, we do a head nod or something like that. Then we know we got like a silent code. They got their silent code of working with immigrants, right? I heard stories of immigrants say that they will hire other immigrants or other immigrants say, well, we immigrants we got to work together. They'll say that to each other. And the second thing is what it is I think he think that he know if Biden would have continued the way he was continuing with the immigrants, they would have been more in power, and then the black vote wouldn't matter, right? And so he's trying to get in line to what he think is the power, right? And keeping those people in there because they need the immigrants, the Democratic Party. They need the immigrants because they know we are now utilizing our vote in a manner where it fits our actual ideas and agenda. And that's a problem. Before we blew, I don't care who, so they was fine. The moment we started saying, we need some tangibles, that's when they open up the floodgates and have these immigrants come in. Because now these Negroes are getting a little too smart. We need another people to start saying blue, I don't care who for another 20 years. So let's help some other people out. And so they open these floodgates out. So the immigrants, they're going to say blue, I don't care who, because they come in here and giving the opportunity thanks to the Democrats.
Right.
I couldn't have said it no better myself, man. That's exactly what it is.
Absolutely right. I'm
Mhm.
tired of Eric Adams' donkey ass. I can't wait. This is last month. He on his way out the damn door.
Oh, I
Cause
thought he was
we
out.
oh,
Mhm.
he's out already?
I thought, but I'm not really that tapped in. I just know I ain't. This, I know I gotta vote, but I'm not voting for Ma'am Danny. I'm kind of relieved that Adams isn't in, so I don't feel like I have to vote for him, just so I don't have to vote for Mandami. We have had Cuomo before for the most part. I don't remember anything too bad about Cuomo except he wouldn't get rid of, and I'm sure he probably did something. I just don't recall it. He wouldn't agree to Columbus Day not being needed. When the indigenous people were making their demands to change Columbus Day.
Mm-hmm.
So he stood on Italian business, I guess you could say. But other
Yep.
than
Yeah,
that,
yeah,
from
that's
New
little.
York,
Yeah, I
what was
expect that.
Cuomo
Yeah.
about? He wasn't that bad, correct?
Nah,
Actually, he
Cuomo was
wasn't.
quiet. Cuomo actually minded his business. I'm
We had a
tri-state, so
couple
yeah, like he
dollars
definitely.
with Cuomo too. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Cuomo was chilling. The only thing that got Cuomo jammed up was whatever happened with him and his brother, and then his brother, stuck up for him. I guess it was like some woman. I forgot what happened. Like some woman said, like he took her on a date or something, but it wasn't like no force or nothing. She just felt intimidated because of he was the mayor of New York. Back with the Me Too movement, something happened like that, but
Mm-hmm.
it wasn't nothing crazy. Cuomo was actually chill, and then New York got out of hand when Adams won, because yeah, when Adams came in, New York got out of hand, and yeah, I think Cuomo should take it because that other dude, Mondami, that's a Pakistani man that been marking African American on his citizenship.
Exactly. All
Mm-hmm.
because he lived in Africa and came over to America. That don't make no sense. That's not what that means.
Yeah, and I still kind of iffy with Cuomo because we can't forget he pro police. I don't care what you thought. He pro police. So if any atrocity happen, he don't care. He's gonna back the police by all means. You got to remember he did these meetings and these press conference, letting it be known that he's pro police. And there's nothing wrong with being pro police, but I'm talking about he got a heavy allegiance
Yeah.
to the police where he's not trying to hear the citizens or the people if there's a discrepancy. He's like, yeah, I hear you, but I'm pro police, and that's kind of an issue too.
So Marshall, so let's play chess with that, right? Let's play chess with that. I like that. That's a move. I like that. I like that horse you moved up. Hey, boom. He's pro police, right? Me as an opponent, I would say, okay, how does that help me, and how does that neglect me, right? For me, what I see,
Hmm.
I'm tired of a bunch of immigrants in New York, right? When I calculate how other mayors like Brandon Johnson are not, and the people in DC are not allowing their police officer to assist ICE,
Hmm.
I see Cuomo allowing the police officers to actually assist ICE, right? Boom. So that's where I would counter that, right? Then what I would do is right now, what we have in our advantage now is we have activists. We have lineage activists, grassroots activists in New York right now that Cuomo will get ran up on. Cuomo will get ran up on, right? And dictated to on
Hmm.
a legal side and on a lineage side to literally uh make him realize keep your police off of our lineage, right? Because we the real Americans here. And so, but I do see your move with the okay, he's a little bit extra police, but that police narrative needs to be pointed to these illegals. And I think with Cuomo having NYPD and ICE running through rounding people up, it may be another bit of a give us a little bit of a breathing space. I'm not saying it's gonna be perfect.
Yeah.
Some of our folks is gonna be annoyed, like, yo, why they bothering me? It's like, well, cause you ain't snitching. You need to be
Mm.
snitching on these immigrants. All right, it's a new day. It's a new day. Politically, it's a brand new day. Like, yeah, don't snitch on your kinfolk. Tell your bro, yo, get out of here. You know what I'm saying? Just go walk around the corner, walk around the block real quick.
Ah, there
But
you
these,
go.
but these immigrants is not. They're not an ally at all because immigrants have a green light to snitch on black folks. Like
That's facts.
every Latino GANG member has, yeah, that's part of their code. Like, yeah, snitch on the blacks. Yeah, point them out. Snitch on the blacks. Make a anonymous call. Like, you got Latin grandmas that be looking out the window all the time calling the cops. And then when the cops pull up, now the shows begin and they close they blind. Feel me? Or they be looking out. You got 50 Marias looking out the window and shit because they all been snitching. They all been snitching this whole time. They don't.
Mm.
That's what they. So we gotta do the same thing.
It's
Yeah. So
funny you
my
mention
thing.
that. I'm sorry. It's funny because I just moved from an area. It was heavy on the Hispanic. And they made me and my man feel so uncomfortable there. Like, they try to act like, first of all, this is a regular ass Bronx apartment building. Like, there's nothing spectacular. Like, it's in the hood. Like, you acting like we got doormen down there. Like, it's just this fabulous building. And when I ain't have my front door key, I had lost my front door key and had to wait for the management to send me a new one. I used to wait for people to open the door so I could go to my apartment. This lady, do you know this little old Hispanic lady goes literally look at me through the door and not open the damn door for me? Acting like I'm like, yo, it's that bad. And ever since the whole administration changed, because I guess the orange man and his people ran down on the neighborhood, the whole tune been changing. Now all of a
Mm.
sudden they renting out to more black people in the building. Because when I first moved in there, I think it was only me and my man was the only black apartment, and now I see mad black people in the building. I'm like, oh, this is new.
Yeah.
But I ended up moving anyway. But
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie. In the Bronx, they kind of always kind of been like that. They act like because again, we only see 3% of the community that do a 95% of the crime, and the rest is just people that's hardworking, right? The 97%. And so what they do is they make sure, you know, they know who coming in the building. They make sure they don't open that building behind. I know when I lived on Ogden Avenue, that's how it was, right? They ain't play no games. You walk into their house, you got to take your shoes off outside the house. That's how clean it was. So, but yeah, maybe that building, I guess they were doing a little bit too much. But and then yeah, those hiring practices is a thing, right? They hire their people. They get in positions and hire their people and discriminate. So I guess they are being a little lenient now. In regards to Simon, my thing is why don't we use that same energy of running up on Cuomo and run up on Johnson, right? See the with the police, right? They can get away with doing stuff, and and thanks to the law, the immigrants are a nuisance. Yes, they're economically unaliving. They're not really of an unalive, but they're economically unaliving, and we can deal with that. That's something we could take to. That's something we could use the 8515 program and remove ourselves from their businesses economically. And if we can't get them out through legislation, we can starve them out where they have to move out of our communities because we're not putting our money into their communities, right? Um, what else? We can, so I feel like we can talk to Johnson because one, he's a Democrat. They'll be more, um, they'll be more open. He'll be more open to hear the citizens than Cuomo, in my opinion. And I feel like if we do that same energy we do to Cuomo, I think we can move the needle a little bit.
I think it's both. I agree.
I'm with you on that one too, though. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah,
Both
I
Cuomo
think
been,
it's both.
we can still meet on that one.
Yeah, because I think Cuomo. I think if Cuomo get back in, right,
Yeah.
he's going to want to at least make it a full term. You know what I'm saying? And in order
Mm.
for him to, in order for anybody to make it full terms, I feel from now on, they're gonna have to kiss the ring, bend the knee somewhere to this Black American lineage, because we're gonna have grassroots people in each city ready to ask questions. Um,
Mm.
as I'm seeing how it's growing, this first year since Trump been in office, a lot more conversation has grown around who the Black American is.
Right.
And with that being said, we got to remember Cuomo has just been a regular citizen for the
Mm.
past 2 years. He's been a regular
Was
citizen.
he a bad governor? I don't think he was.
Nah, I ain't have no. I don't know.
I
I
didn't
don't
have no
remember.
issue with
I ain't
Nah.
hear
Cuomo.
nothing
He
negative
wasn't a
about
I mean,
bad
yeah,
Cuomo. I really
governor.
didn't.
And the
he
crazy
really,
thing
yeah,
is that whole scandal, he was in a relationship with that woman. He's
Yeah,
not
that was
even
his
married.
shorty.
He's
Yeah,
pro-police. That's what Marshall is saying. Remember, he's
yeah. That's the only
pro-police.
thing.
But here's the issue with that too. Adams is
Pro police
police.
too.
He
Yeah,
is
I
Right.
police
forgot.
too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That's like, yeah. I
So
don't know why I said.
Adams,
I don't know
he's
why I said
more
John. I meant
likely to
Adams.
follow orders from
Yeah.
the
Is
governor.
Adam still running? Because I thought he was out of for the Democratic
yeah.
bid. They gave
Adams
him to
dropped
He's
out.
out
Yeah,
of it,
he
but
dropped
I
out.
don't know. Like I feel like this, right? It was okay to sit out the presidency, that right? Whoever opted for the couch. But our problem still exists with the CBC. We can't get these people out of their seats if we're sitting home. So we have to make some changes, especially in a place like New York. Like I said, I went to Brooklyn. It's noticeably changed. I'm recognizing Africans who probably look Sudanese. Maybe they've been there all my life. I don't know, but they weren't noticeable as before. The city to me is more dirty than it has been, and I know I get on people for calling
Oh,
my city dirty. But
those
also
Sudanese probably
Manhattan.
came in the last 10 years.
Who
In the last
Sudanese?
15, those Sudanese probably came in the last 15 to 10 years. Because they
Right.
weren't here like that.
So then now I go to Harlem. I'm like, okay. So I go to Harlem. And I'm like, oh, cool, 125th Street. Let me walk and find a soul food restaurant. And I
Oh.
can noticeably tell that the soul food restaurant I was thinking about is now. I never seen a soul food restaurant with a salad bar in it. I'm like, it's gotta be African because
It
plus
ain't no potato salad. It's a wrap.
I'm like, you know what? I'm so frustrated. Let's just get in the cab and go home, son. I don't even think I ate anything yesterday but cheese and crackers. I was so upset.
You know
Damn.
what? It's funny you mentioned that because up on Gun Hill by Montefiore,
uh,
they opened up an African soul food restaurant, and me and my
Oh
colleague,
wow.
I used to work at one of the hospitals right there. So me and my colleague went around to see what was up. Do
mm.
you know they had a Mexican man cooking that food?
You see, this be the shit we need. Honestly, we need a preservation society for our culture. There is no way an African should be labeling their restaurant soul food and a Mexican be working in. There's certain aspects of our culture that need safeguarding. I just don't like the changes. So I forgot why I even started bringing this up. But we were talking about the government and the governors and Johnson and all of this. Immigration has harmed New York, right? And I love New York. Everything I do, I put BX in it. I put New York in it. I'm just very proud of my city, and my city is changing, but it's erasing us. So I think certain staples like soul food restaurants really shouldn't be attached to Caribbean because they're in the Bronx doing that dumb shit too,
Right.
selling hey Alabamian, Roll Tide. She from New York too, if not mistaken. So they're in the Bronx infusing soul food with their Caribbean dishes after arguing with
Hmm.
me for so long that our food was slave food. These people do not love our culture. They want to make money off of it. So I'm
Yeah.
just like, I need a governor, a mayor, somebody who we could talk to and say, this is the harm of immigration. This is how we need to preserve it. And I need you to institute that certain people who are not of our lineage can't do certain things. And opening soul food restaurants damn sure should be one. Because you know what the North
Mhm.
battles, especially New York? Oh, your daughter lives in the Bronx. Okay, I gotcha. You know, what happens to New York is that people come on this app and think that New Yorkers can't cook soul food. So now, I don't even want them coming here. They be like, "We're coming to New York. Where's the soul food restaurant?" I said, "Don't even come.
That's why they be saying
Send
the
for me to
North
come
food
down
be
south and we'll eat
nasty.
down there. Don't come. Don't
Be
That's
come."
why they be saying the
talking about
North food be nasty because
no.
those soul food be nasty. I was like, those not soul food restaurants. They're not cooked by Black
I'm
Americans.
not gonna
Yeah.
lie, but even the soul food ones now, the better one that I've been to is like Charles, but even for me,
Mhm.
is that's I still not I'm not feeling it all the way. Like I agree with that. I'm sorry, because y'all know I grew in the Midwest, so
Right.
you know we got Southern roots. So that food be that shit slap. I ain't gonna lie out there in the
Okay,
Midwest.
so
I
let
ain't
me.
used
I
to
know
it.
you're not saying we don't deserve soul food, right? Because
No,
we
not
have
deserve. No, no,
Sylvia's,
no.
we
What
have
I'm saying.
Melba's, we have my mama who could cook, and she's
KDOs, I'm
definitely
about to
from
go to there.
Virginia. We have me who's from New York. We have the person down the block. So I think that some of the restaurants that y'all are going to are poor representations. There's Shanae's who just opened on Staten Island, and she's a descendant of Sandy Ground. That was
Oh,
an all black town in Staten Island that was destroyed because of the Verrazano Bridge. But this be okay. So you have a little
That's
experience.
sad.
You didn't like the soul food, from what I'm gathering. That's fine. But I grew up with women who could really cook. And I lived in Georgia, and they wasn't cooking like my elders. They just weren't. In Georgia, I didn't
You-
have New Orleans food. I haven't had Texas food. But what I'm saying is to combat the erasure, the people appropriating our soul food, right? And
And they
having to
can't
come on these
cook.
apps and hear that the North can't cook when I know we can cook is
I know.
asinine to me. So I need to
Cause
preserve my
my mama
culture.
can cook. My auntie
Right.
So
can cook.
well, I'm gonna need y'all to open some restaurants because what
My
they
sister is opening up a restaurant here where I'm from.
She's
so
in
please
what they
do that.
do,
Rochester.
here's
Yeah.
what they do. Here's what they do. They add yams and collard greens and whatever their all the rest of their cuisine is
Hmm.
theirs, and they call it soul food. I saw a Puerto Rican joint like that where
Okay.
they add just yams and collard greens and everything else is Puerto Rican food, and they call it soul fusion or something like that.
They get on my
In the
nerves
city.
with that. We got more than just yams, collard green, and fried chicken now. Y'all
Mhm.
know about no turkey necks and no turkey tips, smothered turkey tips, no
Mhm.
nothing. Damn, like come on,
Uh-uh.
y'all. We got more than fried chicken. That ain't our
But
only
So
protein.
when
let
I
me
went to
say
the
this to
shop, I
y'all.
was
Hold on for a minute, Blue. Hold on. So when I was growing up until I had my first child, maybe 1993, around that time, we had like our soul food restaurants that were really good. The issue with our soul food restaurants were they weren't supported. You get it? So
Yeah,
our good soul food restaurants went down, but we did have our name brands like Sylvia. Melba's just made history by getting a stand in a space in Times Square. So she made history as a Black American who's able to put soul food in Times Square station of all places. So we do, and then we have Shanae, who's FBA, but she's on in Staten Island, and I haven't gotten to her yet. But there's people in Philly talking about Shanae, or Shawnees. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it. So that's what I find. That's my experience. But we do have the likes of Johnson's, Melrose Radio. If you're on Twitter, he goes into restaurants and he say, "Where your people from?" He literally does vibe checks of restaurants, and
Mhm.
then he'll show you the food and show you the help, the helpings and stuff. So I think that we got to really do our. Oh, take you down. I'm sorry. I think we really gotta we're asking, or I'm complaining, right? I'm complaining about how my soul we're getting railroaded and told we can't cook and stuff. But I'm also from a time period where the good soul food restaurants were standing, at least
right.
up until the 1990s, but they went down. And I'm thinking because of unfair rent hikes and lack of support. Why? Same reason why your mama won't make you McDonald's. Well, we got food at home. You know I could cook that.
Okay.
So, but
I got a
BS,
I got
that
a
has to do
question.
with also.
No, go ahead.
it's what I was gonna say this. So like, and I'm only gonna say like, so we're gonna end up like me and BS. We talked about like the council. We're gonna end up putting these. We got something coming up. It's gonna be within the next 5 months, where hopefully we could start really putting our money into it, and so that in each of our cities, if this is a complaint that we having, we can have a we can have a we'll actually have a location where folks could come and gather and give these type of complaints, so that then we start, putting our money into a pot to get a building, open up restaurants, and then we put a business plan behind it, so that
Hmm.
what goes on in one city actually becomes the standard in each city. You know what I'm saying? Like it'd be a lineage, it'd be a grassroots foundational council that, but it's coming up soon. When we're able to actually get people to start donating and really, because yeah, we want to be represented, and we're gonna have to represent ourselves. That's what it really boiling it down to. We're gonna have to represent ourselves, but I'm just gonna keep that on the low real quick. I know people be listening, so
Right.
I want to show
Yeah, I
y'all
don't know
something,
what
right?
else TJ is talking about. LJC, IJC, if they're FBA or not, but they're saying FBA isn't everyone. So, for clarification, this is an FBA safe space, and this is an echo chamber, right? So my room is an echo chamber, and only FBA is allowed to grace the panel and discuss our issues within each other. If you are not FBA and you are in the room, please respect the space. We already know that not everybody is FBA, or not everybody identifies as FBA if they could, but this is FBA centered, and we're talking about our issues, nobody else's. So I don't, not that I don't care about people who are non FBA, but I ain't centering them today. I'm just making this statement. This is an FBA safe space. Thank you. Go ahead,
Yeah.
Mark.
No problem. And I just want to say, Rocket, I feel like you're a troll for saying something like that. Because one thing we don't say F the South, West, East, North. We don't do that. We want people. So I rebuke what you kind of energy you trying to put into this room. Return the sender and be gone with that energy. Thank you. So one thing I will say is, when it come down to it, right, we can do this. This is a gentleman that's from Texas. He's a YT, but he raised $6.2 million, right, in 3 weeks. It's important. I know you're wondering, like, why are you showing this? 125,000 people helped them make $6.2 million, right? Hold on. 98% of the donations that was given to him was $100 or less. So it didn't take much, right? It didn't take much. Nobody had to put like 1,000, 2,000, 3,000. People put $10, $5, $50, $60, right? And all that, and they was able to acquire $6.2 million in 3 weeks, right? From 232 counties in Texas. Let me with zero money from corporations. So this was all grassroots that he was happened to do, a YT man, right? This is all grassroots. And they just letting you know that the most common was teachers, right? Professional. But my point is, we can do that. We can have a community-led business or store and run it from the community by putting our money together. This gentleman was able to make 6.2 million in 3 weeks with 125,000 people. We are 45 million people. 45 million people. Why aren't we doing this? A little 10, a little 5, a little 20. Why aren't we coming together and making a community-led business all throughout the 50 states and funding these
yeah, Marshall,
community-led
this,
businesses?
this what I'm gonna tell you, Marshall. This what I'm gonna tell you, and I'm gonna give you. I want to give you my word, right? I want to give you my word, because this business plan that I'm putting together right now, I'm gonna see the fruit of it come by the end of November. And so by the beginning of December, I want to jump in that pot with you, so that we can really build this business plan to control our own money that we have here.
Mm-hmm.
Um We're gonna really chop. We're gonna really chop. We're gonna really get some stuff down on paper. And we're gonna see how we can merge. We got a lot of people that rock with us. You know what I'm saying?
But let me
Um,
say
Mm-hmm.
this though. Let me
That's
say this
why,
because
excuse me.
I've asked you, Simon. I've asked you, Marshall, for these meetings,
Mm-hmm.
and the day comes down, or I don't hear from y'all. So we got to. Well, me and Marshall are
Mm-hmm.
now in a Telegram together, so we do have a back chat way to reach each other. But I'm here. Y'all gotta utilize, the network. You gotta utilize me, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
Call me to the table too. I do need let me say this. I do need more financial literacy that otherwise me and you, Marshall, went and had to tussle over this net worth. I'm willing to put my skills up for the betterment of the lineage, right? Because we do know I'm a
Mm-hmm.
damn good brand developer, right? Some people get on me for my numbers being low and stuff, but to me, it's not about numbers. It's about who gets the message, who it resonates with, and who's going to go forward and do the work that we start, right? Because I can only get us to a certain point, but the rest is on you. So y'all just
Mm-hmm.
utilize my skills. Know that I'm here for the lineage, but y'all gotta stop. I like encouragement. I like engagement is the word. And
Yeah.
when y'all don't engage, that's when I'm just going to block everybody. No, if I'm blocking people, it's because the engagement was low and I can't do it. Like going to Twitter and seeing that they're arguing over the work being done as opposed to some other shit is very refreshing to me because I don't have to get involved. I'm new. I could be in the see they doing the work, what they arguing about, see what resonates with me and align with who resonates with me along with what I'm doing because I'm also grassroots. So here is like intimate, and I find that we're talking a lot. But somebody said it from Twitter the other day. We're not putting up the work. Now I know you, Marshall, so that don't apply to you. That don't
Mm-hmm.
apply to you either, Simon. But what I find is y'all are dropping the ball on the riders who's ready to do the work. I'm getting
Mm-hmm.
frustrated with y'all. Oh, y'all got to
so
give me a
and
date for a
and I hear you
meeting.
consistent. I hear you loud and clear, and that's why. And so this is how I business develop. I understand that we need capital, right? You have to understand when you need capital from anything grassroots. You're gonna need base capital, right? And I want to put my charity into a grassroots based capital firm entity that is controlled by our own grassroots genealogy verified people. When you can do that first, then you're able to uh, advocate. Then you're able to advocate for the people that you want to come give information to, and then show the business plan and uh what's the goal, what's the forks in the road, and how they can assist. So that I'm not gonna say too much. Like I said, Marsh, you're definitely one of the brothers I take serious. That I think is gonna be serious when we start when we start entering that form, and I feel like I'll be ready for it come top of
Yeah.
December. So
Oh,
look out for
And
me
I just
top
want,
of
can I
December.
address something real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
I know, excuse me, said that there's lack of trust in the, against, I guess, I don't know what TBAT and whatever they did. We had the Black Project 2025 with this young lady made it sound good, and then she wound up being a Democratic shield and working with the Democrats and stuff like that, right? So we did have people that come up and they made it sound good, but that didn't do it in application. This is why I said community led, which means no one person is in control or in control of the money. This will be put in a trust,
yeah,
and
I
the
was I
trust.
was just about to ask you that. Can to start like a community trust where people that
Mm-hmm.
put in they are the trustees because you can have
Yeah.
trustees can be unlimited.
Yeah. So that's that. I didn't want to say that because it's I don't want to give people ideas. So I just said community led. But I felt where the sister's coming from down there. So I said, F it, I'm gonna reveal what I'm gonna reveal. But pretty much when I say community led, that means that nobody got control of the money. There's no one person, and the community votes in or control what happens with that money together. We as a community together control what happens. So if we want to put our money to open up a business, if we want to put our money to building homes and having homes where nobody can just sell that home and make money, and then people that buy that land and the home and the land, when they sell it, we get 30% as the at the trust. Not we. When I say we, I'm talking about the trust get 30%. They get 70%, and they can't sell off the land to others. They can lease the land for 99 years. Kind of what they do in Africa. You can buy the land, but it's leased for 99 years. So therefore, they're not taking out ancestral, ancient historical land. So like what happened in Philly when they bought that church, we could have put that in the community-led T. I don't want to say it again. And what happened was they would have bought it, but they can't change it. They can't manipulate it. They can't do nothing. They got to keep it the way it is. We have control of what happens with that church, regardless if they bought it or not. So it's the same thing. We put our money together in 3 weeks. So how I game planned it, I'm going to tell you how I game planned it. I'm going to land. He made this in 3 weeks, right? What that means is if we were to do 4 months, every 4 months for 3 weeks, we raise money 3 times out of the year. You know how impactful that will be, family. Let's say bare minimum of 6.2 million, right? Which I know we could blow this out the water if we come together with 125,000 people. Let's say $6.2 million every 4 months for 3 weeks. We raise it every 4 months, and we put it in a trust where we decide on what we're going to do, what we need to fix, what buildings we need, what towns we need to fix up and refurbish, not refurbish, but pretty much rebuild old ancient towns. Like, I'm not going to say it, but there's a few of them where there's some historical stuff being done where they had schools and everything that's just sitting there, and the schools got vines going up the building, and everybody just letting it sit there until an immigrant buy it. Now we mad. No, we got to come together and start buying this up. So this is what I'm talking about. So hopefully I cleared that up, because I get the people making it sound good and doing some scammy stuff, and I'm tired of it too. That's why I led with the community led.
So yeah, Jamar,
Can I say
that's
something?
I'm clocking
I'm
in with
sorry.
you. And
Can
send
I?
me your my fault, DX. Send me that, you still gotta send me the telegram.
Oh
Cause
yes, you would
gotta
think
send me the
me.
telegram. Yeah, I'm gonna hit you the DM on this page. 'Cause I think this is the one you work out of.
Yeah.
We also need, well, as we move forward and we put forth some of these ideas, like Marshall does for his Bay page, we have to do lineage verification. Because I'm going to tell you right now, when they came out with that, when they was doing the collecting money for the last Buy Black business venture, or whatever that last name is, and one wound up being a Democratic Shield, the worst thing to do is to not stand on lineage business and have it as a race-based initiative. This is not for outsiders. To me, by ethnics are welcome. I could be biased. Yeah, I could be biased, I guess. But we got to do lineage verification moving forward with people that we're going to do business with, right? Just making sure people are who they say they are of the lineage. But I want to say this. I'm going to go back to the engagement thing. So being in, everybody knows that I've been writing urban fiction since 2015. Hey, excuse me. So I'm like in a different field, and I see different things as far as writing. A natural progression for a writer of urban fiction is to go into web series or filmmaking. But what I'm seeing is a dynamic where we have Black American filmmakers really from the South, their roots are from the South, who help Caribbean women get their films and stuff out, Brother Marshall. And so I can't complain about that because I am standoffish, right? So I don't make the friends that these women make. I make other friends, right, who help me in other ways, maybe graphic design, discount price, even free services. That's the type. I'm not, and I ain't even going there, right? So what I'm saying is this: as we move forward, and if you have these skills, you gotta start doing business with your people. I can't tell you not to work with your friends, but I'm telling you that some of the representation that we're having on Tubi will be from Caribbeans with Black Americans who helped them get that position. We got to move past the talking point at some time. So I encourage my filmmaker, my film producers, and everybody to link up with foundational Black American writers, actors, stuff. We got to get the ball rolling because we keep saying that we need stories that's for us by us. So these stories, some of them that's coming out are not primarily us.
Yeah, I agree.
So I wanted to
And,
put
and
that
it's
out there, and I double checked and asked the Caribbean lady, right? Because I know her, and I just said, hey, is such and such like Caribbean? What's his deal? You know, just living in South Carolina. She was like, no, been in South Carolina all his life. I was like,
yeah.
oh. So
That's
we got
another.
that dynamic that's harmful to us as far as us in certain demographics. That's why I'm glad you came on the panel, Marshall. I asked you about Blam Fam. So family, there is a Black American-owned app called Blam Fam. And let me tell you something. My heart went out to this man when TikTok went down the first time. You know why? For the simple fact that we said we needed a Black app. I did that thing there. That we do that, right? So, so y'all all went to Redno. See how that worked? So, and me, I've worked personally with Black American filmmakers, reviewing their films, helping them out, stuff like that. They show me little things, but to produce my film hasn't been done yet. So we gotta stop dropping. I'm gonna take accountability for whoever I may have dropped the ball on to. We gotta stop dropping the ball on each other. So Blam Fam is a Black American owned app who answered the call of having a platform for us, and we overlooked him and went to Redno. So we gotta stop doing stuff like that. I'm gonna take my youngest son. He loves fan fiction. He loves anime. He loves sci-fi. Black Americans were making videos. We need, or even Black people, we need more Black sci-fi. I paid for the best narrator there was at the time because I'm not tapped into the narration anymore. Produced the whole audiobook plus the novel, and y'all just be going for these other folks. We got to stop asking for or saying that we want XYZ, and then when your people answer the call, you ain't supporting them. Now, shout out to the ones who do. I'm just talking about the ones who we are dropping the ball on. I'll land there. Tell us about
No,
your
definitely.
8515 because we don't need to get stuck on
I just download that app.
No problem. No. So the thing is, right? I want to kind of bring back. So in the Telegram group, we have a thing that we go do. We do a genealogy. It's private. It's a private company, and they don't even tell the rest of the group. They just let the group know he's verified. He's a Black American verified. They do the genealogy. Make sure your lineage should land in the Telegram chat. So you can't do business with us unless you get that check. The next enrollment actually in the group is in November. That I got to get it done myself so the group can know he good, you know. So that what Simon's talking about is actually what we do. We verify to make sure that nobody can just come in and say, "Hey, I'm Black American," and then we're doing business and kind of find out down the line they talking about they founders of certain inventions and they are from a different lineage. So we do have that in the group. And another thing I want to say in regards to the film and movie, I agree with you 100%, BX. It goes to us stop overlooking ourselves, right? We make everyone popular, from the gingers to the Scots to everybody. When it comes down to our own people, I don't know what it is. I really trying to understand the psychology behind it, and we need to start making ourselves.
Y'all be missing the meetings.
Yeah. I can't even lie.
I can't get no pushback on that. Another thing, I love.
I had no energy for that.
Right. Y'all be missing me because I'll be ready. And I'll be ready in the back chat too. So we don't have to have a Discord. What I used to do was attach my subscription plans, but they kind of removed that to the Discord, and we were trying to build that up, but for some reason, I just don't get the engagement that I feel is satisfactory, right? And so I'm quick to pull a plug on stuff because I'm not wasting my time. I'm just not going to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't get people on board if they're not ready. So if you're ready to do like Zoom calls, even if you're not going to be in the Telegram, because we do have those who are in entertainment fields who stand on lineage business, they're just not going to be in the Telegram. That they're just
Yeah.
not going to want their lineage verified. But we know they're Black American. There's a many factors. They don't like clicks because sometimes when you get a part of these organizations, you become a clique. They don't
Mm.
like clicks, but they're still willing to tell our stories our way. So we got to stop overlooking each other, and we got to do um, more engagement. And I think it's the actual maybe committing to something that people have a
Mm.
problem with, and they'll make a Zoom call every now and then. So maybe we could start there for the people that's not going to be in the Telegram. Go to the organization that we're attached to. You do lineage verification, and I'm attached to somebody who does lineage verification. Simon is attached to another person who does lineage verification, but not everybody's
Mm.
going to want to be attached to who we're attached to. Because I see somebody
Yeah.
has a problem with who I'm attached to now. I'm fairly new to this organization. I don't know her experience with them. But for me, so far, so good, and I haven't been fouled by them. But that doesn't discount her experience. She feels she
Mm-hmm.
was donating money, and she hasn't necessarily gotten the things that she needed from TBAT at this time. So I can't speak for that. If she has an issue with TBAT, then she needs to talk to TBAT's those who are in the managerial, because I'm just a member
What's
of the
T-Bat? Never
organization.
mind. I'm gonna mind my business. I don't want to
Yeah.
say there's
No, but I just
too
felt
many
like
people in the
saying that
background.
because everybody knows that I'm attached to T-Bat in that manner that they
Yeah.
verified my lineage. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Um.
But we can move on from that. Yeah.
Yeah. This is my last little. I think basic been kind of. If you want to jump in, brother, I hope we ain't.
Oh, you want to address rocket in my pocket or something basic? So there's somebody in the chat that Basic has been going back and forth with. I did comment to him too, like we're not the people from the north that has been disparaging the south, so you have to go find those northerners. And
Yeah.
him and Basic have been having a discussion in the comments, so maybe Basic want
Yeah.
to address that.
Yeah, we in the North, but we respect the South, man. I'll never disrespect the South. I got family in the South, right? A bunch of family in the South, from Alabama to North Carolina and all over. So me disrespecting the South is me disrespecting my own flesh and blood. And that's one thing I'm not going to do. So I'm not going to disrespect the South. Do we have our disagreements on stuff? Yeah, of course. We family, right? And that's how that happens, right? We're gonna nudge and say something. And then the person gonna nudge and say something back, and we're gonna have our little ones and twos. But to really disrespect them and say F them and all that, that's something we not gonna do. Me personally, if you want to say F the South, cool. But I don't got that much animosity to the point where I'm gonna say F the South, and those are my people. I'm sorry, I ain't gonna do
I
that.
I've
was
been
just about to
blocking the
say
southerners
that.
though. I've been blocking them.
This
I've been
rocket in
blocking
my
them. 'Cause
pocket person doing some double flip back stuff because first he's like, fuck this out, blah blah blah, and I'm like, nah, they're my people. I don't play like that. No southern slander here. I'm good. I don't like when
yeah,
people
we
do
don't
that.
have to slander them, but we don't have to be.
Yeah.
So here be my issue, right? I think that as we fight erasure, we need to be mindful there was an indigenous black population that was enslaved here in the North. They were here by themselves. Some of the Southerners probably did come up because people were transported back and forth. But to kind of make it seem like the North never had a culture before the South came up is another form of erasure. And after being
Mm.
on this app for so many years, actively fighting against the Puerto Ricans version of New York FBA culture here, or diminishing it to just New York culture when we know it's FBA. The Caribbeans do the same thing, and Black Americans have always stood, who with Southern roots, have always stood on the South being able to speak before any of the foreigners. But the issue for me is that there still were indigenous black people here, and we're missing key words, right? That would show that the Southern culture meshed with Northern culture, which is actually
Mhm.
still hidden, right? So that's why maybe next week I'll hear a story that there's a bunch of black bodies under a building or something like that. So for the most part, I'm trying to find out. I want correct verbiage used. I don't want to diminish or erase the Northerners who were here, who helped build New York. So it's just a weird time for me having both ancestries, to see one being erased, but one is being disrespectfully erased to the point I can't even listen to my old school music because the next day after I post my old school music, all I see is the South. The South started hip hop and da da da, and I'm like, dang, y'all are changing my whole like my. I just wanted
Mm-hmm.
one day of music, and y'all. But we had everything quiet to me. We already had Fat Joe where he couldn't perform at BET Awards. Why are we rehashing this? What is y'all agenda? And are y'all researching who are the people actually talking against the South? Like, do you know if they really of the lineage or not? So I just feel like industry politics are at play, right? And a lot of people are still feeding into it. But I'm literally sitting in rooms talking with Californians. I'm talking with Southerners, real Southerners who have misconceptions of the North. We're trying to heal things and just move forward as a lineage. And I feel erased on other fronts because y'all keep acting like we ain't have no culture up here before the South migrated. That's not the case. When the South migrated up, there were all built black communities already that slept with their doors unlocked. The South had a plus, right? Because they had the Northerners there to accept them. The outsiders actually did. So
Yeah.
I just want the erasure to stop on all forms. Now, am I saying the North created jazz and all this crazy stuff? No. What I'm asking is somebody to come to the table and tell me what music the North had. From what I know, it was like ragtime,
Um,
right?
Yeah.
So
I
that's what I
I
want. I
still
want a
consider.
respectful conversation where all of our Black American history, I'm going to land here, Blue, all of our Black American history is respected and none of it is erased. And that means acknowledging that New Yorkers, Black American New Yorkers, do have a lineage of being in New York since 1640. So they meshed with the South as opposed to twiddling their thumbs, waiting for the South to arrive. We got to be fair to everybody. Go ahead, Blue.
I was gonna
Blue.
say that I include Chicago, even though they're the Midwest. They the ones that created gospel music. So shout out to Chicago for that.
Yeah, also I wanted to attribute Detroit to Motown music and Northern Soul music. My one of my grandmothers was a Northern Soul singer. God rest her soul. So we definitely had contributions to major genres of music in the North. I definitely agree with Auntie BX. People trying to it's just a ploy to divide us once again, right? Because we all know our family came from the South and migrated north, or those that were already up north, they already had things going on. That's why our families were able to migrate up north, because they extended their hand and reached their hand back for their family to move. So I don't like the back and forth between the north and the south thing. I come from